the today or this month is timeless wisdom, evolutionary vision. And that's what we just practiced. Timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. Because what we state for ourselves in this church is what we take out into the world. And today is looking ahead and listening. Looking ahead and listening. So I like to tease, and I like to say that, you know, life is all about me. That life is all about me. Life is all about the mental and the emotional. What we think about, what we make it mean, and the emotion that we assign to it. So life is all about me. And the body is the container of all that mental and emotional meaning. What we think and what we feel, what we think and what we feel. And in the meditation, like what Gary did today, in the pause of life, instead of just running on automatic pilot, we took a breath and we looked at, I am the mountain. I am here. I am the essence and presence and the love of God itself. My mind is open and it's a one mind. Everybody that looks up is going to see the sky. We are the looking, being the one mind, the one power, the one presence. And the clouds that go by are their individual experiences. And we get to choose. And right now, what I am discovering most in my life is that I want to be a container for the choices I make. I want to be a container for how much love can I accept for myself and others. And by doing that, I empty myself of the past experiences that block or take up space in my life. That is the timeless wisdom with an evolutionary vision. It's looking ahead. That I've already, been there, done that. That's the past. I've been there, done that. I've even got the ticket stub, and sometimes I've got a program, and sometimes I got a t-shirt. I've been there, done that, So for the next, how many ever years I have left on the planet, what is it that I'd like to feel, be, and do? What would I like to know for myself and others? Own it and speak from that place and look for that out in the world. I've been telling everybody, I work with Alzheimer's Family Center and I work with a lot of seniors, and they are always telling me what they are losing, what they don't have anymore. I don't get to drive anymore. I have to have somebody here with me. And I ask them, I say, can you go on a scavenger hunt right now and look around your room and find something that you love? And I took from Reverend Sunshine's talk, give me 5 things you see, 4 things you hear. And I just work with them until the smile returns to their face. And then they become that feeling of happiness and joy that I do still have so much to be thankful for. And I've been working a lot with physiology, how we hold ourselves, how I'm working on my bones of my being. And the African cultures say the wisdom of you, who you are, is in your bones. It's in the marrow of who you are. It's the wisdom. So if I'm out of alignment, if one shoulder's up or if one hip is out, or if I'm holding my body in a way that doesn't allow me to be open to the timeless wisdom, but constricts me to the limited thought, I look at that. Can anybody here show me how somebody would sit if they were depressed? Where's your head going, sunshine? Look at Gary. Immediately, and Jan, you rest your head on your head and you look down. I didn't have to tell you, do this to feel depressed. We already know that, right? Well, a lot of times When I bow my head in prayer, I lower my mind, my thoughts to my heart, to what I love and know. And sometimes when I do that, it empowers me and positions my mind and body to be one. And sometimes I feel, I'm starting to worry. Similar physiology can have a multitude of feelings. So you have to be conscious of what you're thinking and how, and what positions your body's in when you think that thought. So now somebody sit as if they're courageous and they're looking forward on their path of life. They can see their path out before them, but they can also see all the obstacles on the road. How does that person sit? Most people are sitting and looking forward, right? You can see what's in front of you. You're sitting up, you're courageous, you're being bold enough to take on this path that's in front of you. Sunshine, did you want to add to that? Because your wisdom is always deep.
Oh, no. I mean, like immediately, like even just lift my head up a little bit, right? Even just lifting a little bit so I could see beyond to see if there's any obstacles, you know? I love where you're headed. I can't wait to hear more.
Stay on the road with me.
I'm with you.
So thank you for that. Because the next one is looking up. Look up, and this is the class that I'm in right now, is looking up. The mind, the sky is our mind. We're looking up. The clouds are little puffy things that go by, but we look up for inspiration to receive the download, to be an open container. Our chest is up and open when we look up. And we open ourselves to possibilities. And now I want you to how do you feel looking up? Just by the simple physiology of changing and looking up, does it change the way you feel?
Yes.
I got one head bobbing, two head bobbins. I heard a yes. So when you look up, put a smile on your face and then say to yourself or out loud, I am so depressed. It's hard to say it without laughing. I can't say I'm depressed and smile while I'm looking up. It just sounds funny. I can say it like this: I'm depressed, and my body believes it. But when I'm looking up and I'm smiling, that's a whole new feeling, a whole new physiology, a whole new opportunity. So when we're talking about timeless wisdom and an evolutionary vision, when we sit, this is why it's so important to have a spiritual practice, to sit in a space where you're committing to have a one-on-one time with your love, your God, yourself, and you learn something, you journal something, you sit in silence and you listen. And you become that which you're asking for. You're becoming, using the focus of where you're headed, not where you've been. So anybody can watch the news or go outside and listen and see the rumble and the grumble of what's happening in the world. That's the collective consciousness. When you separate yourself from what you think you see and what you think you hear, and you dedicate a time to be open to the loving presence, you're training your nervous system to be in that timeless wisdom, that evolutionary vision for you, specific for you, that I choose the path. Well, I'm going to choose the path of least resistance. However, resistance is what builds the muscle. Sunny days on this phone call. You aren't going to get a toned body by watching somebody else do the exercise. You're not going to be able to develop the muscle from getting up and going, I'm working out today, and then the next week you do nothing. It is a consistent practice that gives you the evidence of what you think and feel and hold true for yourself. I'm outing myself big time because I have a big vision for 2021. Is the purpose of this is that I don't want to have to tell people who I am. I want them to be able to know who I am by what I do and what I say. So that's going to be me being mindful of my physiology, my tone, my words, and my thoughts. Who's with me on this journey? I knew Reverend Sunshine would be Reverend Kevin. It's like little popcorn. We're not all going to pop at the same time. You remember the Jiffy Pop popcorn that you put over the flame? And you could hear it go pop, pop, pop. And then all of a sudden it's pop, 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 pop. And you take it off the burner and you got, oh, there's still a couple of pops happening. This is what happens. Everybody's on their own pace, on their own path, on their own spiritual awakening. And with that, hold on, let me see. I'm going to check my notes real quick. Oh my, I was in a class the other day, and one of the things the teacher said is there cannot be an evolution, something that happens outside in your life, without there being an involution. The change where you are passionate and purposed in God, for God, with God, is the inner conviction and the truth that you hold for yourself. And then you're now powered from the inspiration, the spirit within you, to do the work that holds the vision of who you are. When you do an affirmation, you know, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, and you look at your wallet and you go, oh, okay, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire. And then you go, oh, God, rent's due, or whatever it is that you work with. You can do the affirmations, or you can live the incantations. The incantations, or the spirit wisdom that comes up in you as you're holding your space, being a container for use me. I'm available for you. I of myself do nothing. It's the Spirit of God within me that does the work. And when you get your little self out of the way, you are now able to be living on purpose with passion. How many of you get up in the morning and go, yay, another day? I got one help. Do it. The thing is that I remember hearing this, that some people wake up and say, good morning, Lord. And some people say, oh, Lord, it's morning. So just be careful what you're saying. Every day above ground's a great day. It is a good place, a good space, and I get to experience it. And today I bring love and joy to the table. And we say it from the inside out. Now, one of the things that I've known for years, but I've recently heard again, is God doesn't choose the qualified, he qualifies the chosen. And I've always been wanting to be perfect before I did anything. And any of you on this call or on Facebook know that I am pretty awesome, but I'm not perfect. I'm not. But I'm whole, complete, and perfect. If I was paneling, I would say I'm whole, complete, and perfect. But showing up in the human form, I'm doing the best I can with what I got to work with, and I'm enjoying what I learn about myself. And I use more tools that I didn't use in the past. And I am happy with where I see myself and us going. And I hold that feeling tone of excitement for each and every one of us. And I want to be a thermostat, not a thermometer. I don't want to take the temperature of what's happening in the world. I want to set the temperature. I'm excited about life. I'm loving it. Who's coming with me? Me and this goldfish. Who's coming with me? So I want to just say that we have some slides. Before I do that, I've been reading a book called Owning Your Shadow by Robert A. Johnson. And he says in the book on page 40, the second paragraph, we are advised to love our enemies, but this is not possible when the inner enemy, our own shadow, is waiting to pounce and make the most of an explosive situation. If we can learn to love the inner enemy, then there is a chance of loving and redeeming the outer one. And I think that that is the most important work that we can do in Downey for Center for Spiritual Living is to first embrace all aspects of who we are. If you can imagine my hands being two circles, this circle and this circle. Good, no wait, right is good, left is perceived to be bad. Now, if you join those circles and you overlap them, in the middle there, let that be the definition of who you are. Let the good be your purpose. Let the so-called bad be your passion, and let that fuel your oneness, who you are, that you can go out and then teach what you've learned about yourself by example, that I embrace all my good. I embrace all my weird little bad habits. I bring them together to make a very unique and powerful me. And that way you're not fighting to overcome anything. You're not fighting to get anything. There's no longer a tug of war, but there's a oneness, an atonement, a beauty and power and presence that can use all aspects of you, because in this world, there is up and down, back and forth, side, right side, left side. You see where I'm going, right? There's a yes and a no. There's a good and a bad. There's everything. So take both of them, join them together, and let that be the mission and passion of who you are. I accept myself just the way I am. I love who I am. And I bring that to the table, which gives you permission to do the same. Now, you're going to catch me at times being not so overlapping, and you can lovingly smile at me and remind me, but please don't walk around to catch me for every time I seem apart. Just know that this is a practice. A lawyer practices law. A doctor practices a medicine. A minister practices the spiritual principles. It is a practice. And the more you practice, the more you talk about something, the more you bring it about in your life, the more grounded you are in it. Isn't this exciting? I love this. So now I'm going to ask Rev Kev to share one of the greatest insights that Jung found, this is also in the book, is that the ego and the shadow come from the same source and exactly balance each other. To make light is to make shadow. One cannot exist without the other. And it says, or I have heard in many conversations, that the body is the dark shadow of the soul. The soul is the light. The body reflects the inner workings of your me focus. And the me focus is the mental and emotional. So as Reverend Kevin brings up the first slide, it says, unless you become the living embodiment of love and light, you shall have no justification saying that God is love and light. This is powerful. Have substance to your words. And I am going to bring up a conversation that supports that slide. And forgiveness is health to the body, the mind, the spirit. Forgiveness allows you to be at peace. There is a woman who went to court of a 14-year-old boy that had randomly killed someone that happened to be her son, and they had to kill and rob him to be a part of the game. And The boy was only 14 years old. They shot her son in the head and left him on the street. And the woman went and listened to the court every day as this boy was on trial. There were two other boys with him, but he's the one that shot the gun. And in the sentencing, and at the end of the trial, the lady was able to speak to the boy. And what do you think she said? She goes, I just want to hug you. I want to hug you. I want to hug your mom, because I am not the only one suffering here. I want to hug you because I want to show you love and compassion, because I don't think you had that. You understand that that's available for you. I want to go and visit you while you're in prison. I want to support you, and my family wants to support you, to let you know what love feels like, so that when you get out, you don't do this again. And she goes, it is not in my faith to hate you. It is not in our faith to hate anyone. She went on to say that she felt her son's death was ordained according to her beliefs. And maybe the purpose of this situation, this terrible experience, was to prevent the death of the 14-year-old, to show mercy to that boy so that he could experience love and compassion. Because revenge solves nothing. It makes you like the person that hurt you when you want revenge. So there's so much going on in the world today. There's an evidence of divide in this country. And we have to be careful not to label it and claim it, but to take what is our goal, our truth, our knowing for what we believe, and take what upset us and overlap it and speak for what we believe in, not what we're against. It's a powerful thing. The next slide, please, Mr. Kevin. And this is in Science of Mind. You do not say everything is all right when it's all wrong. So we acknowledge what it is. We do say, yes, this is happening. I do see it. I'm not blind to this. I'm not. I see this, but my covenant, my agreement, my purpose in life is to call forth the love, the joy, the peace, the understanding that surpasses human understanding, that we can have conversations in a world that works for everyone. So it's important that we look at this and we not divide further by conversation of what we think we see, but call forth the vision and the passion in such a way that nobody gives a bloody hell what's in the back mirror, because the future is so beautiful. The next slide, please, Kevin. The next slide. There is no place in this practice for arrogance or holier than thou attitude. The great have always been humble, and great have always been kind, and the great have always been lovers of humanity. I of myself do nothing. It is the spirit within me that does the work. Put your preference of what you want to experience in life on the altar of your life and be loyal to that. And every time somebody tries to drag you away, come back to the altar and be present with what it is that you want to experience in life, the truth that you know about God and yourself and others. Love heals. Hate hurts. Choose love. It is important that we be that for each other and ourselves. And please put yourself first in life. It is important that you have an understanding of who you are, what you feel, and what you think, so that when life happens, you can be a presence of love and not a reaction to something you've been trying to hide for the last 30 years. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. I'm just saying. Know yourself so much that you are at peace. Now, you're always going to have a learning edge, but that learning edge is going to bring you closer to yourself. And in that book, Owning Your Shadow Side, it actually makes the bold statement that was said by a Episcopalian priest, that God actually loves your shadow side more than your ego, because you keep the shadow side closest within yourself. It is closer to the truth. And what you think you shouldn't expose is the one thing you need to express to bring passion and love to the table. Because if you don't accept yourself, you're not going to accept anybody outside of you that looks or acts in that similar way. The next slide, please, Rev Kev. If you want to live a more spiritual life, live a more human life, be more truly, madly, deeply human. And I love this because any life, including your own, that you neglect or harm or dislike, what you do to yourself, you do to everyone, because there's only one of us here. In the Bible, it says, what you do to the least of me, you've done to me. So the more that you accept yourself for all those little things, all those things you've said and done, the more that you can be present to love fully, because we're all connected. We're all one. As I breathe in and I breathe out, I'm breathing the same air that each and every one of us is breathing. And that is the one breath of God that gives life to each one of us. So we're breathing the one life. Go ahead and own it. It's freeing. It's beautiful. It's powerful. And this is the first time I've ever used all the slides. So thank you for your support, Rev Cav. But the next slide, please. Being out of touch with your body limits your capacity to learn and evolve. And it dramatically reduces the possibility of an authentic spiritual presence. That is powerful in and of itself. Your body is where you live. If you look at your body and go, I'm getting old. I can't do what I used to do. Guess who hears that? Your body. So you look at yourself and you go, God darn it, this Ferrari I've been driving around is looking better every year, and it's increased in value. It is increased in value. The wisdom and the knowledge and the places I've been, people would love to have had my life. It is incredible. It serves me. I don't have to tell my body to rest. It knows when to rest. I don't have to tell my lungs to breathe. I don't have to tell my heart to beat. The body's wisdom is incredible. The body takes care of you. It knows everything you say. It knows why you say it, and it knows how you feel about it. Make peace with yourself. Let your body feel good. Give it what it's been craving, and that's acceptance. Not from others, but yourself. Let yourself be free. It morphs itself. Your body morphs itself around what you hold true for you. Reverend Michael was saying one time, about 2 times, I'm going to mention him twice. One of our practitioners had kidney failure. So he called upon the whole congregation. Every time you go to the bathroom, you thank your kidneys for being healthy. And her kidneys improved. Another person got in an accident and had really hurt their leg really bad. And he said, I want everybody in the congregation to look at their legs and look at their body every day and say, thank you for carrying me so wonderfully through life. And that helped because the person felt the support and he accepted the support and he believed that it was possible and his legs got better. This is what I fell in love with in Science of Mind. I'm bringing sexy back. No, I'm sorry. I like to have fun. I'm with me all day, Jan. Come on. Reverend Kevin, the last slide, please. Not the last slide, the next slide. This one was really hard for me. I didn't like this one at all. I don't think we need to talk about white supremacy, and I don't think we need to talk about the differences in church. I think we need to talk about God and the power of love and healing. But I also said earlier, I see this. I acknowledge this. I'm not going to ignore this. This is real. It's happening in the world. You don't need to understand white supremacy because white supremacy isn't rational. We don't end it with intellect alone. It is internalized deep within our bodies. Our bodies have the beautiful wisdom to carry us through the hard times of separation. I want you to know that I don't like a lot of what's going on in the world. So this is this side. But this is what I want to experience and I love, and I bring it together. Whenever we try to suppress anything within us and we don't acknowledge it and give it our time, attention, and love, it's going to eke out some other way in anger, in hurt, in an accident. We can't suppress it and ignore it. We must acknowledge it and then speak with our voice as we look up, owning and knowing God is the power and the presence in which we live, and say, we're not here to change God. We're not here to change the history of the world or other people's minds. We're here to be love, for God is love. And we're here to be for the love intelligence that would bring us all together and heal us so no one person is left out or left alone or feels hurt. I see you. I hear you. I love you. I support you with the infinite expression of God and love and everything I have within me. And as we all heal, as white people, as a white people, as I look at how I've showed up in the world and I forgive myself for my misperceptions, I look out into the world and see what and who I've hurt, and I ask for forgiveness. And in that, I believe that the power has brought the two together and created an opportunity for oneness. If you have been hurt and someone is apologizing to you, give them the benefit of belief, not for them, for you, so that you can free yourself from the past pain and be the presence of possibility and love, that we can join together and be what the world needs, not to blame, shame, harm, or punish, but to love, to celebrate, to give, to receive, and uplift a life that's safe and beautiful and abundant for all. And for this, I give great blessing for the power of your time and attention, for it allows me to speak in a way I've never done before and accept the power of who I believe I myself to be and who you are, because the giving and receiving is a beautiful match, and we can be a container for each other's hopes, love, and joy. I am a container for God. You are a container for God. And we walk this earth being the light and the evidence of its presence with everything we do. Namaste. Love you. Amen. So it is.
Woohoo!
Hallelujah.
Woohoo! Yes.